fascinating facts you didn't know about Apple. How much do you really know about your favorite tech company? Apple is one of the world's most valuable companies with a history full of fascinating facts, some of which are little known. Did you know Apple has more cash than the US government, or that a MacBook Pro can actually stop a bullet? Here are some interesting facts about Apple that may surprise you. 1. Apple has more cash than the US government. It's no secret that Apple is one of the world's largest tech corporations in the world. What might blow your mind, though, is that it has more cash on hand than the world's most powerful government. In fact, as Forbes reported, there were times when Apple had twice as much cash as the US government. 2. Apple's first computer sold for $666.66. The Apple I was released in 1976, for a diabolical price of $666.66. While this price put conspiracy theorists in a spin, the truth behind it is far more mundane. Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak has repeatedly asserted that the price is anything but evil, and that he simply liked repeating digits. 3. Apple's first logo. Apple's logo is one of the most recognizable in the world. However, it didn't start out this way. The original Apple logo was designed by Apple co-founder Ronald Wayne and featured Sir Isaac Newton sitting under an apple tree, with a quote by the English poet William Wordsworth, "Newton, a mind forever voyaging through strange seas of thought alone." The original logo didn't sit right with Steve Jobs, who thought it was old-fashioned and wouldn't scale well to smaller sizes. Graphic designer Rob Janoff was hired to reinvent the logo, which brings us to the bitten Apple logo we are familiar with today. 4. Apple launched a clothing line in 1986. When people think of Apple's greatest hits, the iPhone and iPad come to mind. Most people might not know that Apple had a brief foray into the fashion world in 1986 with the release of its clothing line, the Apple Collection. A far cry from Apple's well-known minimalist aesthetic, the line included branded clothing, accessories, and lifestyle items splattered in bright colors and bold patterns. 5. Devices are almost always set to 941 in Apple's advertisements. Those paying close attention to Apple's advertisements might have noticed that the time on Apple's devices often reads 941. This is no coincidence, as with anything Apple-related. The time originally used in Apple advertisements was 9:42, the time when Steve Jobs unveiled the first iPhone back in 2007. When the first iPad was released in 2010, that time changed to 9:41. But why 9:41? It's all very simple, according to the former iOS Senior Vice President Scott Forstall, who once divulged that new product launches almost always occur around the 40-minute mark of keynote speeches. 6. Samsung manufactures the iPad's Retina display. Apple's pixel-packed Retina display has made the iPad a popular choice for consumers. However, it will probably surprise most people that Samsung, one of Apple's main competitors in the smartphone space, manufactures the display for Apple. The situation becomes a little more perplexing when you consider that Apple won a US patent lawsuit against Samsung for copying iPhone features in 2018. 7. Apple's market cap is larger than all but 4 countries. Apple marched into 2022 as the first company to reach a $3 trillion market value, having previously broken records by becoming the first company with a $1 trillion and $2 trillion market cap. In addition to this already impressive headline, Apple's market cap is larger than all countries except for the United States, China, Japan, and Germany. That means, if Apple were a country, it would be wealthier than almost every country, including major powers such as the United Kingdom, France, and India. 8. The iPod almost didn't exist. One of Apple's most popular products is the iPod. It revolutionized how people listen to music on personal devices. However, almost no one realizes that the iPod nearly didn't exist as we know it today. Tony Fadell, the inventor of the iPod, had an idea to recreate portable music devices. He first took his idea to Real Networks and Philips, who subsequently turned him down. Apple saw potential in his idea, and hired him in 2001 to lead a team of 30 to design the iPod. 9. Carl Sagan sued Apple twice. Most people are familiar with Apple's legal battles against Epic and other megatech corporations, But few people probably remember that Apple was once embroiled in a legal battle against renowned astronomer Carl Sagan. In the early 90s, Apple engineers codenamed the Power Mac 7100 Carl Sagan, hoping it would make them billions. It was a play on Sagan's catchphrase, billions and billions. When the codename was revealed in a publication, Sagan was displeased to see his name associated with the product in a way that could be perceived as an endorsement. Sagan sent Apple a cease and desist letter, which prompted Apple to change its internal codename for the Power Mac 7100 to BHA, an acronym for Butthead Astronomer. Upon learning of this, Sagan sued Apple for libel. The case was quickly dismissed. A second lawsuit was filed by Sagan against Apple for using his name as an internal codename, which he also lost. Sagan appealed the decision, and Apple agreed to a settlement out of court and issued an apology. Apple's engineers apparently weren't happy with the settlement, as their final codename for the Power Mac 7100 became law, short for lawyers are wimps. 10. A MacBook Pro can stop a bullet in its tracks. Apart from being a state-of-the-art personal laptop, the MacBook Pro also apparently doubles as a bulletproof protector. YouTuber 22Plinkster wanted to answer the question, can a MacBook Pro save your life? And was pleasantly surprised that yes, it can. So the next time you're facing an armed intruder, maybe your MacBook Pro is the best thing you can have on you. Our fascination with Apple will continue. Apple has emerged as one of the most influential companies in the tech space. As the past is the best predictor of future, we are certain Apple will continue to innovate new products that will blow our minds, along with bringing new stories to fascinate us. And, if you enjoy the video, please give it a like and subscribe for more fantastic material.